And we are here on a cloudy Wednesday afternoon. I'm Haden Tolbert alongside my partner, Connor Arthur, for 3304 Sports. And it's going to be the Virginia Tech Hokies taking on the Marshall Thundering Herd for a midweek matchup. Now, Connor, Virginia Tech's coming into this game 7-4 so far, 6-1 at home, having that only one loss to Rutgers in the opening game for the three-game series when they just got blew out, had a run rule, but were able to make it past in the next two games in thrillers. But Marshall is 4-6, 0-4 on the road. They're looking to get this first road win on the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with Virginia Tech, especially with that Rutgers series that you were talking about, 16-1 is not something that Coach Sheff would like to see particularly, and I think that with every we're starting baseball season. So with every baseball season comes those days where it's not going to be that good of a game. So unfortunately, with Virginia Tech, they couldn't sweep Rutgers, but they were able to get the win. Now, I want to look more into Texas and their trip down there, especially with their matchups against SEC opponents in the top 25.
Yeah, they were, not able to get any wins in those games, but they were against Mississippi State, of course. They were Tennessee. They went 0-3, but they were also able to get some momentum and get some experience that is going to be a key contributor come conference time. And people don't really notice it. They look at the box score and they see a loss, but it was a good game. A good freshman run by right-handed pitcher Ethan Grimm. He was able to go 5+ innings on the mound against Tennessee in their loss when it was a 1-1 ball game going into the 6th inning, and they just came up short 3-1, but a good run there for the Hokies.
Yeah, these SEC teams, especially with like Mississippi State, they're 4th in the nation. So the ability to hang on as much as they can with Mississippi State was, I would take it as a win in my book, even though it doesn't look like that on the scoreboard. Tennessee ranked 19th, Texas A&M at 22nd. These are really good SEC teams that are able to play ball, and to be able to keep up with them, that was kind of a preparation step with their upcoming series against Georgia Tech this weekend.
Yeah, of course, against Texas A&M, they lost 0-10 in 7 innings. Against Mississippi State, number 4, lost 15-8, and then lost a close one once again to Tennessee US 20. But for Marshall, they have leads, ties with the Sun Belt Conference and homers per game with 1.5 homers per game. And that's good for a mid-major team that's just trying to make some noise. I'm sure they're trying to win their conference and see how they're going to do. They're 13th in the Sun Belt, which remember rankings don't really matter right now because they haven't played conference games. But to get good wins like here on the road and on a cloudy day, it will be good for Marshall. What do they need to do that?
Well, I think for Marshall, I think it's just the ability to stay consistent. Trust your hitters. When it comes to the Sun Belt Conference as a whole, you said rankings don't matter right now, but I want to let you know they were 4th in the Sun Belt last season. They played really, really good. They were, even though it doesn't really look like that if you're, say, a Virginia Tech fan, for example, they were 33-26, 16-14 in the Sun Belt. I would say, especially coming off of a big series win, and especially a rubber match win against Butler over the weekend, I would trust my hitters, and I would go with the flow.
Yeah, and you're talking about hitters. We got to watch out for Evan Batone. He's junior left-handed batter, center field. He's averaging .44, and he's averaging .800 slugger. He is tied alongside Halter for the team lead at 11 RBIs. So when they get on at home plate, they're going to be able to help their team in any way. And he's with long balls. Evan Batone, he's tied for second in the Sun Belt right now. So he's going to be a big factor in this game. He's going to be first on the lineup, so he's going to be kind of that momentum starter for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, and speaking of the lineups, Evan Batone, like you said, center field starting out the lineup. Then you've got Tyler Kammerer at second base. He'll go up next. Jackson Halter up after that. He's the right fielder. A.J. Havrilla at first base. Cooper Henson at left field. And then Ethan Murdoch, the designated hitter, up next. Mason Antone at shortstop. 22, Jack Smith, third base. And then Will Grubba at the catcher to finish up the lineup. That's going to be a pretty good one for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, and for the Hokies, we'll got first in the lineup, Sam Grube, and then second, Pete Daniel. Then third, the freshman second baseman, Ethan Ball. And then fourth, the junior, Nick Lacurta. And then at cleanup. And then fifth, Trayson Hughes, center fielder. And then Henry Cook, the catcher, the senior veteran. And then seventh, Sam Gates. 8, Owen Petrich. And then, of course, the designated hitter at number 9, Hudson Luderman. And then the starting pitcher will be Ben Weber, and he is pitching a 5.07 ERA with a 1.443 whip. He only has 1-0 loss record right now, not that many right now, and he's allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. What do you think of that so far, Connor?
I think it's just a matter of getting into the flow. I think because it is the opening of college baseball, Virginia Tech is trying to find their swing, and same thing with Marshall. With Marshall starting pitcher for the day, Alex Caudill, he has an 11.25 ERA, 0-0 on the count for him when it comes to his record. He hasn't played since Winthrop, which he allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, and 2 walks with 4 strikeouts. So this will be an interesting challenge for two kind of new to the system, new to their teams, and new to the season, just trying to figure out how to get that swing in.
Yep, the Hokies in the white and the Thundering Herd in the gray pinstripes. And we'll be back as the national anthem is playing so far. We'll be right back for 3304 Sports. And we're back from the national anthem. Once again, our starting lineups for the Hokies: Cook as a catcher, Grube as first baseman, Ball second, Daniel shortstop, Petrich a third baseman, and then you got, of course, then you have Lacurto on left field, Hughes center field, and Gates right field. And then for the Thundering Herd, we have Grubas catcher, Havrilla first baseman, Kammerer second baseman, Onate shortstop, Smith third baseman, Henson left field, Batone center field, and Halter on the right field. As Virginia Tech's going to take the field first, we have once again Weber on the bump getting ready, as Batone's going to be the starting hitter for Marshall. And right here, it's going to be huge. Not a great crowd today for the Hokies. It's a little chilly still, about 58 degrees. Maybe has changed since then. But, you know, if you're Evan Batone, you want to get this, take advantage, have a few Marshall crowd fans here. And if he's able to get, you know, a great hit on the ball to start, or get on base, or even, you know, go homer. You know, we saw that he was tied second for home runs in the Sun Belt. It would be a great starter for the Marshall Thundering Herd.
Yeah, the Akron transfer definitely want to try to get a better hitting job than he did against Butler. He only went 1 for 4 at the plate with 1 run. So he is trying to find himself and find his rhythm. So if you're Evan Batone right now, I would try to shock this Virginia Tech crowd, or what is of it. But definitely it's going to be a good one. It's going to be definitely going to be a good weekend, or not a weekend, but a weekday matchup between the Thundering Herd and the Hokies.
Yeah, Akron, he appeared and started in 52 games and hit a .315, recorded 67 hits, 39 runs, 11 doubles, and 1 triple, 2 home runs, 27 RBIs, and 22 walks, and 14 stolen bases. So pretty good year for the junior.
You talk about his stolen bases. Batone is 3 for 3 on the season so far in stolen bases, so I would keep an eye out on him as he walks through.
And Batone, left-handed batter on home plate right now. Then we're going to have Weber, of course, on the mound, getting ready, just checking with his guys, making sure they can get in the game and minds are set. Then our umps today is going to be home plate Jamal Allen, first base umpire John Bryn, second base umpire Ryan Rosenberg, and then third base umpire Terrence Jones. And Allen's giving Weber the go, and Weber looks and slings it down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count so far for Batone. Batone at the counting house and hits it, line drive down to center field, gets to first, and it is going to be a single hit for Batone. Great start for Batone and company.
Absolutely, and again, it's just a matter of make the Hokies think a little bit. Getting on base, you're in literally the second pitch of the game. That's going to be looking a little good in this first inning of play.
Yep, and then we have Kammerer, the right-handed batter, coming up after Batone, and he doesn't check on that one, but it's a strike nevertheless. 0-1 count so far for Kammerer. Weber on the hill, slings it, and it's a high fly ball to left field as shortstop Daniel comes and saves it for the fly out. 1 out so far, 78-mile-per-hour fastball, as it's going to be 1 out for the Hokies.
The fact that they're able to make contact with the ball this early is really nice to see.
Yes, as Halter is coming up for the Herd, left-handed just like Batone as he's on first base. Weber checks, slings one low as it's going to be a ball, 1-0 count. Halter at the pay station looking to get paid, and he checks for first. Was maybe Weber heard us when talking about the stolen bases by Batone as he checks Batone as he's looking good, trying to check and trying to steal one early. Weber looking once again right down the middle, and it's swung high foul ball behind home plate. It's going to be a 1-1 count with 1 out. And Halter at the scoring iron. And once again, Weber checks Batone, trying to make sure he doesn't steal, maybe setting the tone early in the game, recognizing that he's not going to fall for that and maybe check him more often than usual. As Weber slings one down the middle, as it's a grounder to first, as Weber picks it up, throws it to second, and throws it to first, gets Batone out, but he is safe. Halter at first. It's going to be 2 outs for the Hokies. Good play there, just couldn't get the double.
Yeah, couldn't get the double, but Ben Weber, what great recovery for him. And he's been through this sort of thing before with his experience over at Xavier. He's been a really good pitcher over there, 4.15 ERA for the guy.
As we have A.J. Havrilla on the home plate line, right-handed batter for Marshall. First one is a ball, so it's going to be a 1-0 count, 2 outs so far. Weber not looking to check because Batone is not on the field, but he checks anyway on Halter, looking early just to make sure to keep the runners in check so far. Weber slings one down, and it's a bit high for the ump, Allen, as it's going to be a 2-0 count. Havrilla in a good position so far, leading the count so far, and it's going to be, once again, it's going to be a strike. 2-1 count, still leading the count. And if you have really, you maybe want to, get a little selfish here and maybe swing one if you're up in the count. Once again, Weber checks on Halter.
But here's the thing about Havrilla. He leads the team in walks. So his plate discipline has been outstanding so far early on in the season. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a walk here.
And it's a high fly ball right down the middle, but it's going to be a fly out. Second baseman, Ethan Ball comes and closes out the inning. We had a runner left on first base, but it's going to be 0-0 so far as we go to the closing part of the first inning. We'll be right back with 3304 Sports. And we're back on the second half of the first inning. We have the starting batter for Virginia Tech, Sam Grube, as Alex Caudill is going to be on the bump for Marshall. Caudill lining up. Flies one a bit high for Marshall. It's going to be a 1-0 count, 92 miles per hour. Caudill. Slings one as it's hit by Grube to a grounder to left field. That's going to be a base hit to first for Grube. Good start for the Hokies.
Check. Yeah, Sam Grube definitely trying to get it back into his swing of things. He was 0 for 3 against Tennessee with 2 strikeouts and didn't play necessarily well at the plate against Mississippi State.
As Caudill is looking to make sure that Grube doesn't steal, he checks from the crest. Pete Daniel coming up for the Hokies. The shortstop, as it's pitched a little towards Daniel for the ball. It's going to be a 1-0 count. On the incline, we got Caudill once again checking the runner, setting tones early for both teams, making sure that it's not going to be that kind of game where both teams going to have an advantage when stealing bases, as Caudill looks to throw his second pitch of the series and goes right down the middle for the 84 mile per hour fastball. It's going to be a 1-1 count so far for Daniel. Caudill from the hill slings it right down the middle, but it is hit center field, and it bounces and was able to get a base hit. We have runners on first and second, right down the sweet spot for the Hokies as Daniel was able to hit it, and Batone wasn't able to corral it as it bounced right before he got there, maybe about 6 feet away from maybe a foul out ball.
Yeah, absolutely. The Belmont transfer, Pete Daniel, I mean, he averaged a .360 last year in batting average, so definitely good to see him get on the plate.
Yeah, as Caudill swings on Ethan Ball, and it's going to be a 0-2 count, 0-1 count, excuse me. Ethan Ball, we were talking about, leads VT with a .390 batting average for the Hokies, as Ball doesn't swing on that one, checks it, and it's going to be a 1-1 count, a bit high, 77 miles per hour. And on the old hill, we got Caudill pitching once again, and Ball eager to hit the ball, and it is going to be a fly out to left field and quickly checked as both runners stayed home where they were, first and second, as Grube was on second and Daniel was on first. Fly out, and Ball, you can already tell he's itching to hit the ball and itching to kind of just get on there and maybe hit a spark for the Hokies. It's going to be 1 out so far. Caudill slings it. It's going to be a fly out right behind us towards the parking lot. Going to be 0-1 count. 1 out so far. Like we talked about earlier, Hokies average about 5.5 runs a game. Not too shabby so far to start the season. He's looking to steal as Grube and Daniel look to steal, and he's safe for the stolen bases. They both stole on that one. 2 for 2 on that as it was thrown to second.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal playing over the speakers, and definitely so. Pete Daniel, Sam Grube, coordinated stolen bases. Good for them. Now we've got third and second base runners here.
Yes, as we got Lacurdo with the swing, and it's going to be a 1-2 count. 1 out so far. Lacurdo checks and swings, and it's going to be, may have been tipped, may have not, just bounced and maybe didn't make it there, but it's nonetheless, it's going to be a 1-2 count. Marshall leading the series so far. Caudill on the old hill as he slings it right down the middle, but it seems to be a bit to the right for Jamal Allen. It's going to be a 2-2 count.
And see, Nick Lacurdo, he played really, really well in the series in Texas. He was 2 for 4 against Tennessee.
As Caudill throws it a bit high to the right, it's going to be a full count for the Hokies and Lacurdo. First full count of the game. 1 out still so far. A runner on third and second, looking to get in scoring position for the Hokies. As Caudill looks to stop it, and he swings one, and it's going to be a high fly ball right from the foul line on the right side of the field. It's going to be still a full count for Licurdo. He was looking to get both of his buddies home with that one, as it was going to be quite a long ball. I saw it may have been a homer, but nonetheless, a foul ball.
Yeah, good swing from Licurdo, and definitely trying to get under Caudell's skin right now.
Yeah, as Caudell looks to save the series, and it may have been tipped from Licurdo as it bounced off the head of Gruba, the catcher, but nonetheless, still a full count. Licurdo on the Hearthstone. Looking to score, and it's going to be a walk for the Hokies and Licurdo, and it's going to be all bases covered for Virginia Tech. As we got fifth man up, Trayson Hughes, the center fielder, of course, redshirt senior, left-handed batter, averages a .229 with bases loaded, as it is hit right down the middle, but it's looking to be a play, and it's going to be safe for the second baseman runner, Pete Daniel.
What a play from Tyler Kammerer, just to get under the ball, to get that out, and to make sure that nobody is trying to take their place home.
And it was a grounded out for Trayson Hughes, as we have the catcher Henry Cook up, and it was a first pitch strike for Cook, as Caudell looks to get ahead in the count. 2 outs so far, and it is a great swing, but it looks to be saved by Grube, as Grube was able to run from third off the wild pitch that went out of the hands of Gruba. So it's going to be a 1-0 ball game for Virginia Tech with runners on third and second. Great stolen base there by Grube. Then we got Pete Daniel, of course, on third base with Nick Licurdo on second. Henry Cook looking to get more than one, as it's going to be a bit outside for the ball. 1-2 count for Cook. And Cook so far, the senior, he's been here for a while for Virginia Tech. Right-handed batter. He's been pretty consistent. A slugger as, a slugger .063, and it was a strikeout kill for Virginia Tech as Cook gets out, but it's going to be 1 point on the board for Virginia Tech. 1-0 ball game as Virginia Tech leads on the top of the second. We'll be right back. And we're back at the top of the second inning. Once again, I'm Haden Tolbert alongside my partner, Connor Arthur, for a 1-0 ball game so far for Virginia Tech, as they lead second time in the batter's box for Marshall. And it was a tipped ball from Cooper Henson. Right now, Weber has around his average right now. In his career, he has a 4.32 ERA, and this season he has a 4.44, doing a lot better as Weber throws it way to the side on the left. It's going to be a 1-2 count for Henson. Weber on the bump, throws it in his tip foul ball from the the clubhouse of the Hokies. Still a 1-2 count. Weber right down the middle, and it is a reverse K for Weber. Caught him looking as Henson did not swing on that one.
What a great throw from Ben Weber. Ethan Murdoch now on the plate.
The designated hitter, of course. And the first pitch is a ball. 1 out so far for the Hokies, as it was a line drive hit from Murdoch, but it's going to be a 1-1 count.
You know, I always get scared when you're driving on the road and these balls come out and they land on the road. And are you getting that kind of concern too?
Yeah, I would not be too happy about that if I was driving, but definitely would want to get that insured quickly.
Speaking of insured, do you think that's covered by car insurance? Is that comprehensive insurance right there?
I believe so, yes. And it's going to be a grounder, but it's going to be a foul ball as it didn't make it past the third base bag, as it was going to be a 2-2 count, 1 out so far. Great battle here from Murdoch and Weber so far. Almost as it's going to be a high fly ball to right field, and it's going to be a foul ball just a bit to the right. A good 15 feet, and that would have been a home run.
Good stuff from Sam Gates trying to hustle towards it, try to get an out quickly.
And from the henhouse hoist, we got Weber with another pitch, and it was a bit high. Crowd has filled up a lot more since the start of the game. Still pretty empty here at Atlantic Union Bank, but it's going to be a high fly ball past Cook as Cook throws away his mask and catches it for the second out. Great fly out there from Cook. Going to be 2 outs for Virginia Tech and Weber. Great battle there as Mason Onate is coming up for Marshall. Onate is a sophomore left-handed batter, averages a .226, has 7 hits so far on the year, 5 runs on 31 at-bats. And that first one's going to be a ball. You know, Weber, we kind of see a trend so far with that first ball is thrown, and it's a wild one, but then that second pitch is a strike or a foul ball. So great cleanup by Weber, as it's going to be a 1-1 count, 2 outs. Weber slings it. It's going to be a strike as it hit off the glove of Cook.
I wouldn't try to stay with this formula a little too long, or else Thundering Herd could adapt to this very quickly.
Then Weber was a bit low on his thunder strike, as it was a 2-2 count for Weber. And once again, a bit low for Weber. It's going to be a full count, first full count for Marshall so far. So it's a great battle so far in this series. 2 outs. Onate looking, and it's going to be a reverse K for Weber. And great series there for Weber and the Hokies. Didn't allow really any hits as he did in the first inning, but it's going to be a 1-0 lead for Virginia Tech, as, of course, Alex Caudell comes on the bump, getting ready for his second stint in the game. And we'll be right back for 3304 Sports. And we're back on the bottom of the second inning. We have Sam Gates, the right fielder, coming in as it's a bunt, quick bunt, as Gates speeds to first base, and it's going to be a ground out. Great position by Marshall as Jack Smith, the third baseman, came up quickly, had great recognition of the bunt, and it was a surprise bunt. We didn't know till last second, of course, but he came up and quickly got the out for the Herd.
Very impressive speed by Jack Smith, and especially very impressive speed by Sam Gates. I mean, it was neck and neck to see if it was going to be an out or safe.
Yeah, and great pickup, but of course, by Sam Grube. You know, that was a low thrown ball, and it could have very well been bobbled, and it would have been safe. But on the first pitch for Owen Petrich, it's going to be a strike. Not swinging on that one as Caudell throws it, and it's going to be a bit outside for Jamal Allen. 1-1 count, 1 out so far for the Hokies. And, of course, the redshirt senior averaging a .286. And it's going to be a huge swing and a miss by Petrich. Going to be a 1-2 count. Leading the count so far is Caudell. And then a great K by Caudell and company. It's going to be 2 outs. Looking to get a quick inning for the Herd as they allowed 1 run in inning 1 and had loaded bases. But that's great for Marshall. And, of course, we have Hudson Luderman coming in, the designated hitter for Ben Weber. Luderman hits one right down the middle, and it's a high fly ball, but it is out. Quick inning for Marshall. 3 up, 3 down for Virginia Tech as we go to the top of the third inning. We'll be right back. 1-0 ball game. And we're back for the top of the third as Ben Weber looks to continue a great game so far. Only has allowed 1 hit, but has also allowed 0 runs. So Weber slings it, and it looks like he committed. Looking to the first base umpire, John Bryn. He says no go. That's going to be a ball. We had Will Gruba swinging. Jack Smith swinging for the Thundering Herd. 1-1 count. And it's going to be a bit low on the third pitch. Going to be a 2-1 count. Weber once again outside for Smith, the junior, averaging a .222 so far this season. Hasn't had many at-bats as it's a foul ball to the left side chalk line. Going to be full count for Marshall. Weber slings one down the middle. It's a grounded ball as it's tipped from Grube, and it was bobbled by the pitcher Weber. It's going to be another hit for Marshall. Kind of an error there, right there, from Virginia Tech, as it was Grube who kind of had it. It was a fast ground ball that bounced a little bit high off his glove, and then, of course, the second baseman Ball was able to pick it up and throw it, and tried to throw it quickly to Weber, who came for the place of Grube, but it was just not in time as we're on near the end of the lineup. Will Gruba with a runner on first. Weber looking to pick it up, and it's right down the middle for a strike, 77 miles per hour. Gruba, the sophomore catcher, is going to be his first at-bat of the season. Props to Gruba on this one. Hopefully he wants to make it count. Weber grounded to shortstop, thrown, and it's going to be a safe. Great first at-bat for Gruba. Was just not in time for Pete Daniel. He quickly threw it to Grube, and they might look to review it. I don't know. Grube says it was not right, but anyway, it's going to be a hit for Marshall. Great so far, over totaling their first hit in the first inning already with 2. And it's going to be a runner on first and second. Smith and Gruba as we're back to the top of the count. Batone looks to bunt as Weber goes and picks it up to first on Grube and gets the out for Virginia Tech. Great save there by Weber to get it quickly to Grube, but of course Batone did its job getting a runner to third as Smith made it to third and Gruba made it to second. We're going to be at the second baseman, Kammerer, where he had a fly out to left field as he checks that one, doesn't swing. Going to be a foul ball. Excuse me, ball, as it's going to be a 1-0 count with 1 out so far. Kammerer, second time, grounded out to second base as he quickly throws it to first base to Grube, but it did its job for the RBI as he got Smith to the money plate. It's going to be a 1-1 ball game so far with also a runner on third. Gruba there.
Yeah, Marshall is definitely liking this 100%. And shout outs to Gubba. He didn't really have an at bat. He mostly fielded against against Evansville, where Marshall won 18-11. So really good to get that stat pad up to start the season.
Yeah. Like we talked about earlier, Gubba had his first at-bat of the season. Now he's on third with Jackson Halter looking to bring him home for the RBI. And it's a hit batter for Weber. Going to be a walk for them. Going to be a runner on first and third. Havrilla looking to bring in Gubba. Ben Weber looking to clean up how he's performed so far in this inning. Hasn't started yet, but it's going to be a bit outside. 1 ball, 2 outs for the Hokies. Havrilla with the back club. It's going to be a strike. 1-1 count. Weber, of course, picking up the slack. He checks his runner. Didn't want to get Halter trying to steal second, so it's going to be still a 1-1 count with 2 outs as Havrilla checks that one, doesn't swing, and it's going to be a ball. 2-1 count so far. Top of the inning. 1-1 ball game. Ben Weber checks, throws. It's going to be a strike for Virginia Tech. 2-2 count. The Marshall fans here was not too happy, but it was a strike nonetheless to Jamal Allen. 2-2 count. Weber slings it, and it's a grounded to shortstop as he throws it to Grube for the out, and it's the third out. Great extension there by Grube. And they're looking to see if they got it, and then it was 2 men left on base. And it looks like Marshall's going to challenge the out call on first base. It was right there, so that they think that they saw it. The first base coach thought that maybe his toe, Grube's toe, wasn't quite there, and that we'll check and see if it's going to extend the inning for the first half of the inning for Marshall.
Yeah, regardless, I think even if it is an out, what an effort by Sam Grube to have the ability to extend himself in order to get the potential out. Because, I mean, Grube is 6'3", 205, and so having that kind of build and being able to extend your legs out, really good play for Grube and Virginia Tech.
Yes, of course, a sophomore from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. He bats left-handed and throws right-handed, which is not, rare, but it's kind of cool to see someone that's ambidextrous with how they play baseball or any kind of sport.
With Marshall's ability to hit the ball, especially in the early half of this game, your 47 pitches in has been Weber. What do you tell yourself in order to keep that composure?
I mean, you gotta kind of just discipline your guys. I mean, he's kind of just checking. If they're checking his throws and taking what they want, they're having their way with them, and that we saw that this inning as they're looking to check, and it's going to be this standing call for Virginia Tech, going to be the third out. That 6'3" frame of Grube was able to come in handy there as he had his toe, maybe an inch of his toe still on the bag. But it's going to be the start of a new inning, and we'll be right back. It's a 1-1 ball game. And we're back to the bottom of the third inning. We got a tied ball game right now, 1-1, as we're going to be top of the batting lineup. Sam Grube, he had a pretty active inning there on defense. As Caudill still on the bump, looking to continue his good inning last inning. And it's going to be a bit low for Marshall. Going to be a 1-0 count. At bats today, Grube is 1-1. Grube checks and doesn't swing. Good eye there. It's going to be another ball. 2-0 count for the Hokies. Caudill throws it, and that one's going to be right on target there. It's going to be 2-1 count. Missile from Caudill. Caudill checks and slings it, and it's catching him swinging. It's going to be a 2-2 count. Great comeback here from Caudill. Grube looking to get it back ahead, and he hits a missile down to right field as it bounces, and it's looking to go to second, but stays at first for the base hit. Great hit there by Grube as he looked like he was in no man's land, being behind on the count 2-2.
Yeah, he definitely put a lot of power into that one. Great swing from Grube.
Then we have Pete Daniel coming in for Virginia Tech. Caudill serves it right down the middle for a strike. Catches him swinging there. 0-1 count for Daniel. Caudill looks and checks on Grube, not letting him try and steal. As Caudill looks to pitch his second ball of the inning and throws it, and it is hit down, but hit to the left chalk line as it bounced on home plate to the left. It's going to be a foul ball. Going to be 0-2 count. Good so far for the Thundering Herd. Caudill up, looking to offer, throws it to first. Checks on Grube. 0 outs so far. Caudill looks and offs it a bit high. It's going to be a 1-2 count for Daniel. Now the 1-2. Throws it as Grube tries to steal and successfully slides to second base. Great stolen base there by Virginia Tech.
And just not enough time for the catcher Gubba to adjust himself to make the throw to second base.
Caudill serves it up, and it is hit right down the middle on center field, right between center fielder and left fielder as Grube goes down to from third base and gets the run for Virginia Tech, as it's a double for Pete Daniel and also an RBI. Great hit there, just right in between Batone and Henson from there, and was able to get his buddy Grube in for a run. It's going to be a 2-1 ball game so far.
You want to talk about a sweet spot, talk about that one, and it trails right into the warning track. Great shot from Pete Daniel to get Grube in and to get the double. And he leads, he already has his first double of the season.
As Caudill cranks and fires for the strike on Ethan Ball. Going to be a 0-1 count. Caudill kicks and throws, and it is a swing and a miss by Ball. Ball could just not get the ball right there, and it's going to be a 0-2 count. Great start, but Caudill did just have Pete Daniel on an 0-2 count, and he gave up a run, so it's going to be some adversity here from the pitcher. It's going to be a tip ball off of home plate. Foul ball. Nonetheless, 1-2 count. Oh, excuse me. 0-2 count. Still.
And the way Ethan Ball is swinging the bat, he wants a home run bad, and he leads the team in home runs. So he's trying to scratch that itch.
Caudell locates, and it's a bit low for the man in gray. 1-2 count so far. Caudell, he has an ERA of 11.25 with a whip of 2.20. Has allowed 6 hits prior this game, 5 runs. And it is hit right down the middle as it's going to be a line drive thrown, and it's going to be an out for Ethan Ball, as Pete Daniel was not looking to run there as he stays on second base. Going to be the first out of the inning for Marshall. And his second at bat, of course, Nick Licurto. He's 0-0 today. It looks to steal a base as it's going to be a Daniel stolen base. Great there. Tech has a few stolen bases so far. It's going to be a great showing there. I bet they've both done. That's why they kind of wanted to check early in the game. Both teams did, because both teams maybe in their film tried to steal some bases, and Virginia Tech has been successful so far. It's going to be a 0-1 count for Licurto. Caudell serves it up, and it is bunted for a foul ball. 0-2 count.
Yeah, Pete Daniel, 3 for 3 in stolen bases now. It's been perfect. Almost a close out for Marshall, interestingly enough. Pete Daniel slid over the bag and tried to recalculate himself to get back on in perhaps a millisecond worth of time.
From the firing line, we have a tipped ball once again from Licurto. Still an 0-2 count with 1 out. Looking to bring the guy that got the RBI home is Licurto. Ian Caudell as he serves it up, and it's going to be short from the batter's box. It's going to be a 1-2 count for Licurto. Caudell looks and fires. It's going to be outside for Marshall. Going to be a 2-2 count. Still up in the count. Here comes the 2-2. Caudell swings, checks, it's outside. We got a full count for Licurto and Caudell.
Great discipline from Nick Licurto so far.
Caudell looking to seal up the series. Hurls it, and it's outside. It's going to be a walk for Licurto. Great discipline there from the junior left fielder. We have a runner on first and third base so far. Daniel on third and Licurto on first. Now we have Trayson Hughes, the center fielder, coming in for the Hokies. Now the 0-0 count. Looks for a bunt. Virginia Tech stolen Licurto base. It's going to be a safe as Daniel was able to steal the base once again for the Hokies just in time. Great precision there from the Hokies as they look to bunt, but quickly taken away as it's a ball. Just all around great play from the Hokies as it's going to be a 3-1 ball game as Licurdo stole second as well. Caudill serves it up, and once again a bit high.
What a run by Pete Daniel. Great speed, great effort, great endurance, and to able to get on the bag as quick as he did. I mean, that's the reason the Hokies are up here.
Was able to swerve a little bit outside and use his arm to get a good crack at it and just avoid Gubba. It's going to be a strike right down the middle. It's going to be a 2-1 count so far for Caudill. Jamal Allen just taking time. Talking to the bullpen of Virginia Tech. Don't know what that's about, but we're going to be a 2-1 count with 1 out so far. Lays it in, and it's going to be a stolen base once again for Licurdo. Just a mishandled pitch right there from Gubba. Just some mistakes so far in the third inning that's pretty costly for the Thundering Herd. Looking to get back on track, we have Caudill. Delivers the pitch, and it's high. Once again, it's going to be a walk for Trayson Hughes. Only had 1 strikeout there. Once again, we come to a runner on first and third. And we're just going to have a meeting at the mound. We will check and see if we'll have a pitching change, as it's still a pretty close game here at Virginia Tech. 5:02 p.m. as we come on a break. 1 out. Virginia Tech leads 3-1. We'll be right back. And a quick decision by the Marshall coaching staff as Caudill stays on the bump. Just had a little quick talking to, get some communication with Gubba as he serves the pitch right down the middle. Great decision there, and it's a stolen base to second from Hughes as he stole second base, as Cook is 0-2 in the count, the catcher from Stewart's Draft, Virginia. 6'3", 225. Looking to take advantage, and he swings, and it's tipped, but right into Gubba's hands as it's going to be an 0-2 count. Once again, the Herd in comfortable position in the series with Licurdo on third, and of course Hughes on second, with Cook looking to bring the boys home, and he checks and swings, and it's a huge kill for Marshall as he had checked a little too hard, as the first base umpire, John Brin, was able to get and check and said, yep, he swung on that one. So it's going to be a strikeout for Caudill. But now we have Sam Gates coming in for the Hokies. 2 outs so far. Gates is 0-1 on the day, and it's going to be a swing and a huge miss for the Hokies. 0-1 count, 2 outs, 83-mile-per-hour fastball, as we still have Licurdo on third and Hughes on second. Caudill picking up nicely since his meeting on the mound, and it's going to be a strike for Caudill. 0-2 count once again. I don't know what maybe they said to him. We still have a batter left and maybe 1 out to go, but great great cleanup there from Caudill, looking to, stay in this game and not have his name changed on the mound. Caudill throws it and swings it, and a strikeout for Caudill. Great resilience there as he checks for the reverse K, as it's going to be 3 outs as Virginia Tech leads 3-1. Will be coming on the top of the 4th inning. We'll be right back. And we're back for the top of the 4th inning. Virginia Tech leads 3-1. We have a 0-0 count coming up, and it is a huge strike for Weber as he's still in the game so far for Virginia Tech. Had a pretty rough inning last inning, as it's going to be a hit ball grounded to left field, and it's going to be a base run for Henson. So we got Murdoch coming in for the Thundering Herd. Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, Weber was having kind of a rough 3rd inning. Allowed 3 hits in that one, allowed 1 run, had 1 error, as his pitch to Murdoch is a bit low. It's going to be a 1-0 count with Henson on first. Weber hurls one, and it is bounced, grounded, but it's not past the third base plate. Going to be a foul ball. 1-1 count for Murdoch. Way outside, as it's going to be a safe call. It was a Henson stolen base as the pitch was way outside, and it was picked up quickly by the Hokies as Ball looked to get out a stolen base from Henson, but he made it in time as Ryan Rosenberg calls him safe, as we have Henson on second base looking to steal. Both teams stealing bases so far in this game, as Weber pitches it and it hurls right outside out of the ballpark for a foul ball. 2-2 count for Murdoch.
I mean, we're almost in the evening time. We're a couple minutes out from quarter after 5.
And it's going to be, once again, an arid pitch that would go off the hands of Cook, and it's going to be another stolen base for Henson.
And that's the thing I wanted to talk about, because regardless of the result of this game, the one thing that everyone can collectively think about, the amount of stolen bases that have happened this game.
Yeah, and you could say maybe it's the aggressiveness for the Hokies side. It's the aggressiveness of them and being precise on when they steal, and it's going to be a reverse K on that one for Murdoch, but it was able to do his job as he got Henson to third base from first base. 2 stolen bases there on that series of pitches. But yeah, I mean, it's more on the Tech side. It's maybe like arid pitches that kind of got away outside, but for Marshall's side, it's just Virginia Tech being precise on the stolen bases. They've had a few mistimed hits as it's hit straight away from Onate as he makes it to second for the double RBI. A great hit there as it went right under the legs of Daniel. But like I was saying, like stolen bases, Virginia Tech has been precise and taken their time, which is great for them. But if they're going to do that, they also need to fix it on the other side and not have those, uncontrolled throws that are a bit outside that for Cook to catch them. As we just saw there, a great hit under the legs of Daniel. And it's going to be A pitch low as Smith is on the money plate there. We have Onate on second base. 1-0 count coming up, and it is a strike. 1-1 count.
Ben Weber trying to get his head in the game and allowing 5 hits. This game is far from over, and it's still quite close. Only 3-2 Hokies.
Yeah. Weber checking, which is good, as there's been, like you said earlier, a lot of stolen bases. So checks on Onate, who just hit the double. 1-1 count with 1 out. Here comes the throw, and it's once again an just uncontrolled throw that's way to the right of Cook, and it's going to be a 2-1 count. If you're Weber, you need to control your pitches, or you'll soon not be on the mound, because these are things that are giving the Herd a chance to either take the lead or still be in this game, and it's going to be a strike. 2-2 count. Great pickup there from Weber. Jack Smith looking to hit as the third baseman. Tallies up the 2-2 count, and it is hit on the money spot between right field and center field as Onate comes in and scores for the Herd. Great RBI single there for Jack Smith, the third baseman. Hit the sweet spot between Gates and Hughes. None could get there in time, and it was a great run there, great sequence there for the Thundering Herd.
And Marshall is absolutely loving this. I mean, tie game. If you're Coach Chef for the Hokies, is it time to start considering the bullpen or not?
We'll have to see how he closes up there. We might see a different pitcher come the 5th inning, and it's going to be a bounce hit over as Smith makes it to third and slides. Great hit there that just bounced over Beatrich. Marshall just kind of flipped the script on that when we saw a good bottom of the third with Hokies 2 runs, but now the Herd have 2 runs of their own and, in scoring position with a man on third. So they kind of take control on this one, and it might be a meeting or end of the day for Weber as he just allowed another hit. But we'll see on this one as Cook comes up. We don't need all the other guys coming up to the hill on this one, but maybe that connection between the catcher and the pitcher is crucial in a game like this. But we'll see as Jamal Allen maybe wants the boys to get back there, seeing what they're doing. But he's talking to his guy, and now they gave him time. So Cook's going to go back to home plate for the Hokies.
And we've been consistently talking about it. The majority of this game is the ability to hit for Marshall. Again, Marshall has an average batting of 2.268. And so this game has really shown their ability to hit a lot more than maybe the records show on the stat sheet.
Yeah, and it's a team effort there. We've had hits from many guys. Guba has 2, Smith has 2, Onate had that huge hit, and then of course Henson has 1, and then Batone, of course, leading the team, he has 1 as well. But 3 RBIs for Marshall. It's huge for them to get runners in, and especially on those stolen bases or arid throws that Weber has been throwing. It's kind of huge for Marshall to get guys in, and that's been kind of the factor here so far.
Absolutely, as Coach Chef has a meeting on the mound, and that might be the end of Ben Weber's day as a new pitcher comes in.
Yeah, of course, we'll see who comes up for the Hokies. Weber, the right-handed pitcher, it looks like it might be Preston Kroll. Yep, and it will be Preston Kroll for the Hokies, the right-handed junior for Virginia Tech. Looking just to change up how they play. Weber had a good start to the game, just couldn't, keep that consistency there. Then we'll have enough time for Crowell to get warmed up, and we'll be right back. A 3-3 ball game with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. And we're back as Preston Kroll is on the bump for the Hokies, as we have Batone coming back for his 3rd hit. He's 1-1 of the day. Going to be a 0-1 count, 1 out so far for the Hokies. 3-3 ball game as Kroll throws it a bit to the legs and looked, and it just didn't hit Batone, and it's going to be a 1-1 count, 1 ball, 1 strike. And then Crowell on the 1-1. It's going to be a bit outside for the junior. Crowell with the 2-1. It's a foul ball to the left bullpen of the Hokies. 2-2. One out so far. Batone looking to get out of this slump. And it's going to be a ball. We got a full count coming up for the Hokies. And Batone. Crowell with the pitch, and it is going to be a line drive hit that is right out of the reach from Beatrice, and it's going to bring some boys home as we had both Smith come home for the Herd. And then, of course, Gubba is on third. Great play there. Was just right out of the reach. They're hitting the best spots for the Herd, as it was right about above the reach of Beatrice for the score. It's going to be a 4-3 ball game. Thundering Herd lead for the first time today. 3 runs this inning, and it's going to be a bit outside for Crowell. One-0 count coming up. 1 out so far with Gubba on third and Batone on first, as it's going to be a foul ball that bounced right behind home plate. 1-1 count.
I can't imagine sitting in that front row, having a chip ball come back. Even though there's a net there, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, reflexes other way. It's going to be a fly-out ball almost hitting the birds in the and then it's going to be caught by Sam Grube. Luckily enough, there was birds flying right when the ball was hit, and luckily there was no harm, no foul. But
talk about perfect timing there.
Fly out there. Going to be two outs for the Hokies. We have Halter coming in. Going to be a great hit right down the middle, right down the line of the third base. Looking to get Batone in as he's throwing in, and a great RBI double. 2 RBIs there. 2 runners in. It's going to be a 5-3 ball game. Just a complete script flip for the Thundering Herd. And Virginia Tech has no answers so far.
Balls are coming down right where Marshall needs it. I mean, right on the chalk line. And the third base umpire calls it fair, brings 2 in, and John Sheft is going back up to the mound.
We'll see what they do there. Virginia Tech feel like this still is in reach, and very well it is, but they just need to make sure this inning does not get out of hand. Just need 1 out, and it doesn't matter who's going to be in, but we look to see another pitcher come into the game. We'll see who it is, maybe having another change. But, yeah, just great. They kind of favor in the third side there for the left side there for Marshall, which is good. Just getting right out of the way for Petrich, and then that one, just a great ball right past the third base line, and Terrence Jones called it fair and was able to bring the boys home. This is going to be a 6-3 ball game. And then coming into the game, we have Luke Crater. The senior right-handed pitcher looking to come with more experience here. Might be a factor as he's looking to, just close out this inning, and then Virginia Tech will figure out the details later.
Luke Crater leading the team in ERA with a 1.8 and a 1.0 whip. The Lafayette transfer. See, he threw, last time he was pitching, he had thrown 4 strikeouts in 3.2 innings in a 4-3 win against Rutgers.
Maybe that experience in that game, Coach Sheff kind of trusts him, as he's going to be wanting to get the Hokies back on track, and we'll be right back with 3304 Sports. We have a 6-3 ball game with 2 outs on the top of the 4th. And we're back as Crater is the new pitcher for the Hokies coming into the game. We have Havrilla on the home base line, home plate. As we have Halter on second, as he just had a 2-run RBI, getting to double. And this is going to be a bit low for Crater. Three pitchers still for the Hokies coming in. Just a quick turnaround in here in the 4th inning. Hopefully Virginia Tech can keep a guy up there as it's a bobbled ball, and Cook quickly picks it up. Crater here still with 3 balls in the count. Havrilla with a huge advantage in this series. So we took a pause here. Cook got a little dinged up, but now he's ready to go with 2 outs here. Havrilla looking to take advantage, and he swings, and it's going to be a 4th ball for Crater. Not the start that the Hokies wanted, but it's going to be still a chance with a runner on first and second have Rilla on first and Halter on second, but we'll have Henson coming in looking to bring his fellow teammates in. And we have Henson on the pan looking to score for the RBI, and it's a bobbled ball once again from Cook. Maybe him and Crater are just trying to get into rhythm here. Cook has already had to deal with 2 other pitchers, so it's going to be an adjustment to make when being down 3 runs so far as Crater throws it, and it's going to be once again another ball, 2-0 count, with 2 outs. 85-mile-per-hour slider there. Crater looking, deals it, and it's going to be a foul ball that hit the gate of the Hokie bullpen. 2-1 count so far for Henson at the marble. Henson on the 2-1 count, and it is a strike right down the middle. 2-2 count coming up. On the home base, Henson looking to get out of this 2-2 hole, and it is a foul ball once again towards the Hokies' gate of the clubhouse. On the dish, Henson looking to get something. We still have no home runs so far this game, but a lot of stolen bases, a lot of runs. It's a high bounce ball, but to first of Grubb as it closes out the inning and retires it for Virginia Tech. A great series and inning by the Thundering Herd, scoring 5 runs. That's more than both combined from both teams in the first 3. And it's going to be a 6-3 ball game as we're coming to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be right back for the 3304 Sports. All right, we're back for the bottom of the 4th inning. Virginia Tech is down 6-3 in this one, looking to get back into this one. We have Petrich, the guy that the Herd kind of targeted in the last inning, having balls just bounce over his head, but he was 0-1 on the day as we had the 0-0 count coming up, and it's right down the middle as we have Caudill still in the game, going strong for Marshall, and it's going to be a 1-0 count. Caudill serves it up to the plate, and it's going to be a bit low. Caudill had a kind of a, you'd say he was getting taken advantage of in the first 3, but we'll see if he picks it up or, stays on there. But considering on how Virginia Tech's pitching is going, as it's going to be a 3-0 count, depending on Virginia Tech's pitching, we'll see Caudill probably last longer than Weber, and definitely has lasted longer than, of course, Crowell. And it's going to be a walk, 4-0 for Owen Petrich, the third baseman, as we have the designated hitter, Luderman, coming in for Virginia Tech.
Next up for the Hokies, number 18, Hudson Luderman.
Then Caudill on the 0-0, looking to serve on the platter here. Serves it and looks to bunt, and it's going to be a strike from Luderman. 0-1 count.
Yeah, Luderman just pulls back just a little bit too late right there.
0-1 coming up. And it's going to be a low hit. Luderman telling his guy not to steal, as it's quickly picked up by Guba. It's going to be a 1-1 count. One on its way, and it's hit deep to left field, but it's going to be a foul ball. And I hope that staff worker was paying attention, because it was close to hitting him, and he looked unfazed. But regardless, we have a 1-2 count.
Tough as nails. Just tough as nails. Not bothered by a thing.
One, two coming up as he checks on first base for Petrich. Maybe put an emphasis there, the Marshall coaching staff, to make sure that no bases get stolen anymore. But regardless, we have a 1-2 count serving up, and it is going to be once again a left field foul ball right past the chalk line. Not as deep as the last one, but it was still in play, still on the field. On the saucer, Luderman looking to take advantage. And it's hit down to center field in the sweet spot, looking to get his boy into third base, but does not. But it's going to be a base hit for Luderman. Great hit there, as the Hokies needed some momentum after a 5-run inning from Marshall. As we're coming back up to the top of the lineup, Sam Grube, the first baseman, as we're going to have a meeting from the Marshall field, as we might get a pitcher from the bullpen. And we'll have a new pitcher coming up from Marshall in just a second, as we figure out who it is coming up. Coming up on the crest, it looks like it's number 10, Landon Dahl, the pitcher, left-handed from senior. He's a senior. Both teams coming up with experience right now. We had, of course, Crater coming in, who is a senior, and then Landon Dahl coming in, who is as well as senior, and he's looking to get warmed up, as Virginia Tech looks to build off that momentum in a 6-3 ball game. We'll be right back. And we're back with a new pitcher. We have Landon Dahl coming in for Marshall, as he serves it up, and it's going to be a bunt foul ball, which went pretty far for a bunt. It's going to be an 0-1 count. We have the top of the lineup, Sam Grube, and it's once again another bunt, as he's looking to get a runner on third, and he does his job there, as it's going to be a runner on third and second, Owen Petrich on third, and of course Hudson Luderman on second. Great job there by Sam Grube, just doing his job, getting runners in scoring position.
Absolutely. Great sacrifice from Groob. Pete Daniel now back into the batter's box.
Pete Daniel looking to go. He was 2 for 2 today, having a good day so far for the Hokies, and looking to be aggressive there, but it doesn't swing, and it's going to be a strike, 0-1 count. 1 out so far. On Lumita, it's going to be Dahl with the serve, and it's going to be a ball. On the pitcher's path, throws it, and it's going to be a bobbled ball by Guba, but runners stay on there. It's going to be 2-1 count for Daniel.
Tech still looking for that one moment to get some runs on the board.
Ameren Hokies, of course, have their name. Here's his chance, and he swings on that one. It's going to be a 2-2 count for Daniel. Of course, seemed like he wanted that one there. Just could not get contact on the ball. Dahl doing good as it's going to hit straight line drive once again towards the end of the ballpark, but stays within the stands.
Daniel wants it. He wants to try to tie this game up.
Daniel 2-2 once again, 2-2 count coming up, and it's hit right above our heads for another foul ball. Great battle here from Dahl and Daniel. Dahl serves it up, and it's going to be low for a full count coming up. Great battle once again. Daniel has had a few hacks at it, and it was able to get contact on some and just not being able to be in the field of play, but we'll see coming up here. 3-2 count. Dahl. Here we go. And it is bobbled, and of course, it's going to be a great ground out to first. Great battle there from the two, but ended up Marshall and Dahl get that one with the help of Smith picking it up and throwing it to Avrila. And the Marshall bullpen hyping up their guy as Dahl serves it up for a foul ball behind Guba. It's going to be a 0-1 count, 2 outs so far. Once again, 2 guys in scoring position for the Hokies. We have Owen Petrich on third and Hudson Luderman on second. Ball looking to get back today. He's 0-2 on the day, and it's swung and missed on that one. Having kind of a rough day so far in the batter's box, but we'll see if he can make it count here. We have an 0-2 count, 2 outs so far. On the crest, we got Dahl looking to close the inning with a great pitch, and it is swung and for the kill. Great inning by Dahl and company. And great decision by Marshall to switch out pitchers there, as Caudill was struggling for a little bit, but Dahl just went and cleaned up on a great save for the Herd, as they were almost in scoring position to bring it in within a couple of runs. But regardless, we have a 5-3 ball game coming in for the Hokies as they take the field. We'll be right back as we're getting in the top of the 5th. And we're back to the top of the 5th inning. We have a thundering herd lead, 6-3, leading the Hokies as Murdoch looks to, the designated hitter looks to continue his good day so far. And he looks to pitch from Crater, and it's going to be a home run for the Herd. Great play there by Murdoch on cue. Single home run for the Herd as they lead 7-3. Just great awareness there as Crater just served it up on a platter for him. Now we have Onate, who had a great hit in the last inning, looking to build the momentum for Marshall. And it's going to be a huge ball as a high ball from Crater as the Marshall bullpen's snickering at Crater just for that pitch alone. We'll see if he can calm it down for a second. And he does correct it there as it's going to be a 1-1 count for the strike.
Shout out to Murdoch, too, because that's 3rd home run of the season. Marshall is riding on a very, very high.
We'll see if Tech can pick up the slack, and that's going to be a ball for Crater. 2-1 count. Picking up the slack right there, we have a strike from Crater as Onate is in the batter's box for the 2-2 count. 0 outs so far, 7-3 ball game as he serves it up, and it's going to be a tip ball staying into the series. Onate is using his adversity. And then we got a little pause here just from the foul ball as Allen is looking to go back to his home plate umpire position as Onate at home plate looking, and he hits a ground ball to second base, but it's quickly picked up to Grube and given to the Hokies for an out. Good sequence there. You know, Virginia Tech would like some maybe strikeouts or fly balls. They don't really want some line drive balls, but you can get outs where you need them, and they got it in there. We'll have Smith coming in. Jack Smith on the day doing great as he hits a fly ball to second, but it's going to be a center fielder picking up, and it's going to be Hughes coming and cleaning up, coming deep from the center logo of Atlantic Union Bank for the second out of the inning. Great composure so far after giving that home run up to Murdoch, and great cleanup by the defense crew as Crater throws it inside, and it's going to be a ball. Guba on the day has 2 at-bats, 1 run, and 2 hits. Not too shabby from the sophomore, as it's going to be a second strike. Second pitch is a strike. Going to be a 1-1 count with 2 outs coming up. On the 1-1, and it's a swing and a miss. One-two count for the Hokies. Crater looking to finish off the inning. Hurls the ball, and it's swung for the K. Great resilience there from the Hokies, as it's going to be the end of the inning. 1 run from the solo home run from, of course, Ethan Murdoch, the designated hitter. And better yet, as the Thundering Herd extend their lead to 4 as they lead 7-3. And we'll be right back for the bottom of the 5th. My partner, Connor Arthur, will be your play-by-play analyst for that one for the rest of the game. We'll be right back.
And we're back here at Atlantic Union Bank Park. Virginia Tech trailing the Marshall Thundering Herd 7-3 at the bottom of the 5th. And Nick Licurdo in the batter's box swung on. And right behind us for a foul. Strike 1. Marshall looking for their first win in Blacksburg in series history. As Dahl throws. And right down the middle for a strike. 2 strikes now on the board. Licurdo still 0 for 0 at bat today. Dahl fires. And a backwards K caught him looking for out number 1. And Nick Licurdo not liking that call.
Yeah, Licurdo having a rough day, had a walk last inning. And just kind of wanted, if Hokies need that momentum, they need to have a good start to the inning, and that's not that. And Dahl's kind of having his way with them.
Trayson Hughes now up to plate. Dahl fires. Trayson turns the shoulder. Ball 1 on the board. Another throw. Dahl. Down the middle, strike 1. 1-1 count now on the board. Trayson Hughes, .299 or .229 average as Dahl throws again. Inside. 2-1 count. The redshirt senior from Warner Robins, Georgia, looking to get something going. Strike 2. Dahl launches. Swing and a miss. And back to the dugout, Trayson Hughes goes.
Just a desperation swing on that one. Did not look like Hughes gave it his all there. It looked like it was way too wide, and it's going to be 2 outs for the Hokies. Just not the things they need to get back in this one.
Henry Cook 0 for 2 on the day as Dahl throws. And another strike for Dahl. Here comes the pitch. And just low. Henry Cook tees up, swings the bat, gets ready. Up and down, Dahl looks, throws. And down low once again towards the turf this time. 2-1 count on the board, 2 outs. Marshall leads 7-3. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, fouled towards the left side of the dugout. 2-2 count still. Henry Cook did not play against Tennessee their last outing as Dahl throws. Another swing and more contact made, this time behind us. Drive stays alive for Henry Cook, the catcher. Marshall, their dugout with some chirping. Dahl fires. And another. Oh, we got a little bit of confusion. Henry Cook thought he was going to go. And no good. 3 outs. And just like that, Marshall continuing their momentum as they get ready to hit the batter's box.
Yeah, and if the Hokies want to get back in this one, they need some home runs, and they need some home runs quick. It's still possible for them to kind of inch away, but the way that their defense has been playing, it hasn't been, too bright in the last 2 innings, so they need to pick that up and hopefully out-hit the Thundering Herd when it comes to the end of the innings.
Absolutely. In top of the 6th, we go. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Virginia Tech Hokies. And we'll see who that is here in just a few. As the Marshall Thundering Herd looking for their first win in Blacksburg in history. Don't go anywhere. It's 3304 Sports. 7-3, Marshall leads top of the 6th. New pitcher in Chase Swift, the left-hander sophomore from Chester, Virginia. Throws it down the line for a strike as Evan Batone comes into the batter's box. Top of the lineup. Swift fires, and it's hit on right into right field and dropped down for a single. Evan Batone, great hit on that one. Scooped up by Sam Gates. And another hit tacked on for Marshall.
Once again, just not what the Hokies need. Can't be giving up those hits, especially in those soft spots there. Chase Swift picking it up. He needs to pick it up for the Hokies.
Swift launches wild pitch. We've got a little bit of a conversation. Throwing a ball over to Swift as the home plate umpire, Jamal Allen.
Pitch might not count just because I think maybe the way he was throwing it maybe wasn't to Jamal Allen's liking, liking, and might just restart the count.
And a high fastball, 87 miles an hour on the radar gun for a 1-0 count for Chase Swift. Swift leads the team in whip, 0.55. Used to play at PDG Baseball Academy, so he's built for this. As he launches another. Swung on by Tyler Kammerer. Fouled off right behind us. And a 1-1 count now on the board. Chase Swift looks back at second plate, throws towards home, and again behind us again, almost hitting our windows. Tyler Kammerer. One-two count. Marshall 4-6 on the season, trying to bring that number up ahead of Sun Belt Conference play. Swift throws and hit on. Oh, the Petrich tried to launch for it. And Batone all the way from second base. Goes home on a RBI double from Tyler Kammerer.
Yeah, it looked like an awkward swing. It looked Kammerer, he kind of lunged at that one, and it was able to work in his benefit as Beatrich lunged for it and couldn't get it, and it brought Baton home.
Swift throws down the line and outside for Jackson Halter now in the batter's box. Owen Petrich, the third baseman, full extended body, could not get the stop they wanted for the Hokies. Swift throws. Down the line it goes. Strike one. 1-1 count now. Jackson Halter, former Louisiana University transfer. Hits it on, fouled off left field towards the James C. Weaver Baseball Center. 8-3, Marshall leads. Tyler Kammerer in second base. Swift throws. Chipped off the bat towards behind home plate. Jump scaring the fans in the front row. And Swift just kind of walks off of the mound. Was looking for a check on Kammerer, but to no avail. Total hits for Marshall this evening. Chase Swift delivers another swing and hit. Looks like it hit the shin of Henry Cook. Henry Cook's been banged up this entire game. Cook trying to walk off that right leg. One-two count off of a somewhat wild pitch from Swift. Swing and a miss down into the dirt is Jackson Halter, and he'll not make it to the first base bag. Considered a strikeout from Swift. Tyler Kammerer still on second base. One out on the board. Marshall 8-3. In the top of the sixth. Swift looking back at second base. Throws towards home. Right down the line for a strike. A.J. Harvrilla now up to bat from Canfield, Ohio. Swift throws. And just inside for a 1-1 count now. Harvrilla appeared and started in 58 games last season. He had a batting average of .287. Included 45 RBI. As Swift throws outside. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out on the board. Marshall loving this. As the fan turnout starts to get a little bit more quieter, sun going down. Chase Swift. Harvrilla. Check swing, doesn't go all the way through. Considered 3 balls, 1 strike. Virginia Tech side of the dugout. Very quiet over there. Swift throws. And inside once again. And a walk for A.J. Harvrilla. Camera on second, Harvrilla on first. 1 out on the board.
Ever since that change for Weber early in the game, just the pitching hasn't been there for Virginia Tech. They just have not figured out who's going to finish out the game for them as they're coming up on their fourth guy. Yeah, they're on their fourth guy. So if John Sheff wants to salvage this one, they're going to need to figure it out.
Three straight losses for the Hokies so far as Swift throws, and it's hit right into center field. Ground ball. Kammerer to home plate and makes it 9-3 Marshall. Harvrilla moves to second. Cooper Hinson to first for an RBI single. 13 hits for the Thundering Herd tonight. They're coming off of a 2-1 series win against Butler over the weekend. Swing and a miss from Ethan Murdoch had a 396-foot single home run earlier in the matchup. Swift fires. Chipped on to behind the Marshall dugout. Fouled off, 2 strikes, 1 out still on the board. Ethan Murdoch from Swift Current Saska, Canada. Fires down into the turf for a foul. Over towards head coach Greg Beals.
And ever since that home run from Murdoch, it feels like he's just kind of itching for another one. He wants to get a contact with this ball.
The Hokies looking for any sort of stop right now. Throws, swing and a miss. And put a K on the board for Chase Swift. Murdoch goes back to the dugout. And here comes Mason Onyate. From Powell, Ohio, the redshirt sophomore. Majoring in communications. Chase Swift fires for a strike. 2 outs on the board, 0-1 count. And, you know, Marshall's got a really good communications program over there. Swift throws. Swing and a miss again. And Onyata now down 0-2. 26 pitches for Chase Swift so far. Ball being delivered. A little shimmy at the batter's box, but to no avail for the final strike. 1-2 count. Chase Swift looking to end the top of the 6th. And right off the glove of Henry Cook, no runners move. Cooper Hinson still at first. A.J. Harvrilla at second. Swift. And a backwards K. Caught him looking. Onyate. 2 runs and 3 hits for Marshall, looking to pull the upset. 9-3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Don't go anywhere. It's 3304 Sports. And we're back here at English Field here in Blacksburg. Landon Dahl versus Sam Gates. Marshall leads by 6 runs. A win tonight. They head on to Morgantown tomorrow to play West Virginia in another midweek matchup. 1-0 count. Dahl delivers and fouled off to the third base line. Marshall will have a weekend series this weekend against St. Bonaventure at home. 1-1 count. And Landon Dahl steps off the plate, steps right back on, and throws for a pitch completely missing Will Gubba, the catcher. Sam Gates from Island Heights, New Jersey, played ball at George Washington University before coming to Virginia Tech, as Dahl throws. And a strike down the line. 2-2 count. Gates bends the knees, but no swing.
So far, Dahl has allowed 0 hits.
Well, that might change right now. Oh, the diving catch! No! Off of the glove. Almost a SportsCenter top 10 highlight. And just like that, Virginia Tech does get a hit. Sam Gates towards left field. And Cooper Henson can't grab it. Owen Petrich now at the batter's box. Sam Gates at first. Petrich trying to make something happen. Dahl launches. And just high for the first ball of this matchup here between Landon Dahl and Owen Petrich. The 5th year. Won't swing at that one. Down the line it goes, the ball. Strike 1, ball 1. Sam Gates off the first base plate. Little shimmy. Dahl looks at him and throws down the line. And a check swing, strike 2. 1-2 count. Hudson Luderman on deck. Marshall with the hooting and hollering. Landon Dahl throws and chipped towards the turf. Caught by the shortstop. And to first base it goes for an out. Onyate with the stop. Throwing over to Harvrilla. Hudson Luderman now. Sam Gates moves to second base during that sacrifice ground ball. 1 out on the board. Dahl throws and high and inside. Ball 1, 85 miles an hour on that radar gun. Luderman Looks at the ball, go right past him down the line for strike one. 1-1 count. He was a big contributor playing against Mississippi State down in Arlington. Had a triple and a home run. Dahl looks back at second base, throws down the line, and strike two. And a changeup on that one. 1-2 count. Marshall now 9-3, 13 hits on the day for the Thundering Herd. And off the bat, towards behind home plate is Luderman's swing for a foul. Dahl has thrown in 2 games so far this season, making his third as he throws down the line and over the head of Jack Smith and drop down into left field. Sam Gates will go all the way home. And finally, Virginia Tech is on the board once again, 9-4.
Yeah, it just feels like the Hokies needed that one, just the way this game has been going. Hasn't scored since the third inning. Since the third inning. The 6th inning was the last time, the latest they have scored. So, to do that after allowing so many runs to try and keep this game alive coming in late in the game.
Sam Grube starts the top of the lineup once again. Luderman at first base as Dahl delivers. Low and inside that one was. 1-0 count. Virginia Tech looking to end that 3-game losing streak before their trip to Atlanta this weekend. Dahl throws. Fastball and down the line. 1-1.
And Virginia Tech's in a prime position here. You're getting on top of the lineup with 2 guys that had 2 hits each. So if they need to take advantage, they need to do it now.
Dahl throws, fouled off right behind the clubhouse, and the kids are going to go try to grab that one. 1-2 count. Grube trying to stay perfect. 2-2 at the bat today. Virginia Tech trying to avoid their first loss to Marshall in 9 years. Dahl throws, swing and a miss. And Grube, perfect no longer today, strikes out. 2 outs and 1 more to end the 6th. Pete Daniel 2 for 3 on today. And slammed right into the turf for a foul. 0-1 count. Virginia Tech again. Last time they've lost to the Thundering Herd was a 3-1 loss in Charleston in 2017. And strike 2. Dahl. Dahl has some pep in his step. Trying to shut out this Virginia Tech team in the 6th inning. Here comes the throw. Swing and a miss! And we end the 6th inning. Landon Dahl on fire right now. Virginia Tech trails 9-4.
Landon Dahl just having his way with Virginia Tech right now. Gave up that run, but in the grand scheme of things, when you're up 6, it really does not matter if you can give up 1 run an inning, especially this late in the game. We'll see what he can do and how consistent he can be in the 7th. But what does John Sheff need to do to maybe get the Hokies back in this one? There are a few, like in the grand scheme of things, they are maybe a 2-run homer away from being right back in this game. And with this squad, they're called the Hammer and Hokies for a reason. They're able to just score instantly, it seems like, and sometimes in like these past 2 games where they've had comebacks and had wild end of games. What do they need to do, and what does John Sheff need to tell these guys to get back in this one?
Stay calm. Absolutely stay calm. I think Virginia Tech is pressing the panic button a little bit too quickly. Again, like you said, a quick 2-run, 3-run homer. Even then, you can have the scenario of runners on corners, runners in scoring position, being able to hit the ball. They're being out-hit 13-7 right now against the Marshall Thundering Herd.
But if you're the Hokies, you have to just completely stop on defense and stop the other team from scoring, because if these home runs or these runs, if they were to hit a 3-run homer or something like that, it wouldn't matter if they give up 2 runs here or 3 runs or even 1 run for the rest of the game. It needs to stop here. It needs to stop now in these last 3 innings, or Virginia Tech's going to be in no man's land and can't come back, and it will be too late.
And perhaps a pitching change could be the saving grace, as Peyton Smith, the right-hander, senior from Springfield, Tennessee, Texas A&M transfer, did not play against Texas A&M, interesting enough.
Who knows? Maybe this SEC experience will come into play here. We have these other guys. We'll see how he does here, but definitely interesting to see if he can close out the game and stay on the mound.
And Jack Smith swinging over at home plate. 0-1 count, Peyton Smith.
Smith on Smith action right now.
And a swing and a miss from Smith to Smith. You think they're brothers?
Amount of people that are named Smith in this country.
Hey, a man can hope. Peyton throws it down the line, swing and a miss for strike 3, back to back, and couldn't connect. Out number 1 for Virginia Tech. They're just trying to get back into the batter's box as quick as possible.
Yeah, and of course that momentum translate is if Smith can just straight up sweep it 3 up, 3 down, it will be huge momentum going into the bottom of the 7th.
And a quick hit by Will Gubba, the catcher, a double into left field territory.
Now, not the end of the world for Smith, but definitely a backbreaker there when it comes to trying to get quickly out of this 7th inning.
Gubba, the redshirt freshman, with the double from Pittsburgh, adding another hit to Marshall's 14 now. So we go back up to the start of the lineup. Evan Batone, strike 1 down the line for Peyton Smith.
And we have to do some calculations. Don't remember how many hits were in that left field area, but it seems like a lot of those hits were in that area.
Smith down the line for strike 2. Smith threw an inning against Mississippi State. Allowed 2 hits, 1 run. As the next pitch delivers, an outside 1-2 count against Evan Batone. Batone 3 for 3 today. He's trying to stay perfect. From Bay Village High School. And a swing into right field territory. Fouled out. Drive stays alive for Batone. Batone went 1 for 4 against Butler the last time they played. Peyton Smith with the pitch. And outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As we're getting dark here at English Field in Blacksburg, Virginia. Looks up and down, communicates with Henry Cook, throws it, and off the glove. Actually, it looks like it was hit. It hit Evan Batone. And Will Gubba, Batone, they'll occupy first and second base.
Unfortunate there for Virginia Tech and Peyton Smith. You had a great advantage there. It was an 0-2 count at one point, and then just let them back in it and ended up hitting them in the fingertips, and that's where the bat is. And so that's probably, if that's anywhere you don't want to hit on the body, that's not really a good place, because it's basically, it could be a decision on whether it was the bat or not, and we'll see if he can pick up the slack here.
Tyler Kammerer looking to make some magic happen for the Thundering Herd, and a wild pitch right off the face of Henry Cook, slid right past him, and that allowed runners to move. Will Gubba occupying third, Tyler Kammerer on second, runners in scoring position. Oh, excuse me, Evan Batone on second base. 1-0 count. And that was chipped towards the Virginia Tech dugout. 1-1 count. Marshall leads 9-4. Peyton Smith. And another chip ball down. This time just behind the right side of the home plate. 1-2 count, top of the 7th. Nighttime. And Smith throws. And hit on just off of the glove of the shortstop, Daniel. And Batone scores. Gubba scores. And Marshall is hitting all of the right spots. Pete Daniel tried to recover the ball as it zipped right through center field, just between shortstop and the second baseman, Ethan Ball. 10-4. And strike for Jackson Halter. 0-1 count. And 11-4 for Marshall. Strike 2 for Peyton Smith. Still 1 out on the board. Tyler Kammerer on second base. Considered a fielding error for Virginia Tech. Not what you want to see for the Hokies. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Tyler Kammerer. Well, excuse me, for Halter Jackson. He'll go back out to the dugout. 2 outs on the board. A.J. Harvrilla now up to swing. And a swing he does not. Down the line it goes. 0-1 count for Peyton Smith. 82 miles per hour on that. Outside. Ball 1. Strike 1. Virginia Tech looking to make something happen to stop Marshall. 11-4. 2 balls, 1 strike. Peyton Smith's throw just outside. Two balls, 2 strikes now. As it lightly tapped the bat. Twos all over the place. We've got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Peyton Smith delivers the throw in a right field foul towards the back of English Field. That one headed towards the duck pond lot.
Maybe landed in the duck pond.
Peyton Smith. Ball just inside. Harvrilla with the shimmy, but not enough to trick any umpires. Full count on the board, 2 outs. And Kammerer heads straight for third. Ball 4. And not a night you want to see for Virginia Tech. Tyler Kammerer advances to third. Harvrilla at first. Still 2 outs on the board. Cooper Henson won't swing at the one down the line. 82 miles for strike 1.
Just so much inconsistency from Virginia Tech pitching-wise, and a few errors is very well what decided this game. It's not over yet, but it's not looking good for Virginia Tech on the top of the 7th.
Cooper Henson. Cha-cha sliding a little backwards to avoid being hit. 2-1 count for Peyton Smith and the Hokies. Throw comes down. And strike 2 is in. 2-2 with 2 outs. Marshall 4-6 on the season. Looking to make themselves 5-6 with a big win against Virginia Tech. Fouled off to the left field side.
And just great. We talk about the inconsistency in pitching. Just great consistency after, the first 2 from Marshall to take advantage of the pitching by Virginia Tech and just getting on the board and taking advantage of errors by Virginia Tech, as that's going to be another foul ball.
Another foul for Cooper Henson. Harvrilla tried to steal second, but the foul pushes him back to first. 2-2 count. Peyton Smith fires. And swung on into right field it goes. Harvrilla, third, going to home. Cooper Henson at second. Put another score. 12-4, Marshall. And the Thundering Herd are definitely putting the thunder in this game. 13-4. Cooper Hinson now at second. Ethan Murdoch with a swing and a miss now at the plate.
And sometimes it's your day and sometimes it's not your day. And for Virginia Tech, it was not their day. And for Marshall, it is their day. They're lighting it up.
Virginia Tech. Not something you want to see. Playing against Georgia Tech this weekend down in Georgia. Then heading on the road to UVA right after that in Charlottesville. Peyton Smith throws. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, still on the board.
And if your senior pitchers can't clean up for you, it's a bad sign. I know people have bad days, but 2 senior pitchers, and then of course Peyton Smith getting drilled with a hit, able to pick it up. Great adversity there, but again, way too many runs to allow just to close out a 7th inning. Now they're down almost 10 runs, 9 runs that being.
Marshall leading in hits 15-7. It's the 7th inning stretch, and if you're a Virginia Tech fan, maybe you want to stretch and perhaps go towards the exits. As Marshall leads 13-4. At the bottom of the 7th we go. Virginia Tech, Marshall in Blacksburg. This is 3304 Sports. Don't go anywhere. And we're back here at English Field for the bottom of the 7th. Virginia Tech now in the batter's box. 13-4 Marshall leads, looking to pull off the upset tonight in Blacksburg. Ethan Ball at the plate. The freshman, strike 1 for him. Another throw in, just inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ethan Ball, 0 for 3 today. And Landon Dahl still on the mound. And Ethan Ball gets his first hit of the day, right field, for a quick single. Makes it over to Jackson Halter. And next up, for Virginia Tech, Nick Licurdo. From Don Bosco's prep school he played, Garnerville, New York. Dahl throws. Strike 1 on the board. Ethan Ball off the first base bag. Dahl delivers again. In right field again. This time caught. Jackson Halter with the catch. And Licurdo can't get that one to fall. Ethan Ball stays at first base. Trayson Hughes now up. 0-2 count. Landon Dahl with the throw. In left field it goes. And Evan Batone with the catch. 2 outs now. Ethan Ball stays at first again. And this bottom of the 7th flying by. And not in the way Virginia Tech wants. And we've got a new batter up at the plate. CJ Oxendine, a catcher, freshman from North Myrtle Beach. Went to North Myrtle Beach High School. Played in a total of only 3 games. Mississippi State, William & Mary, and Rutgers. Only won against William & Mary at the opening series of this season for Virginia Tech. There's a 1-0 count, heads to the board for 2 outs. Ethan Ball still on first. Dahl throws down the line. Strike 1. And Landon Dahl, a little over 3 innings played, 6 strikeouts for the guy. And Oxendine chips it towards the inside field, left side, but to no avail. Caught by Anate. Thrown over to Harvilla. And that'll be the bottom of the 7th concluded. Top of the 8th now. 13-4. Marshall leads, looking for their first win in Blacksburg in the series history. Their first against Virginia Tech in 9 years. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more action here on 3304 Sports. The Marshall Thundering Herd up 13-4 against Virginia Tech. Had a couple defensive changes. Willie Hurt now at third base and a new pitcher on the mound. Danny Lazaro, the junior left-hander from Tampa, Florida. As we get this game going, Mason Onyate on the plate. CJ Oxendine, now the catcher. And Lazaro throws into the turf. 2-0 count at the top of the 8th. Could be possible we see a mercy rule tonight in Blacksburg. Lazaro fires. Strike 1. 2-1 count for the Hokies. Oxendine as the catcher. Groob at first. Ethan Ball into right field. Or into second field, excuse me. Or second base. 3 balls, 1 strike now for Onyate. Sam Gates at right field. Trayson Hughes in center. Nick Licurdo in left field. Ethan Gibson, the shortstop, and Willie Hurt at third base. And a walk is delivered to Onyate as he leans back. The shortstop will make his trip to first base.
Yeah, you see that Tech, they're going to have a meeting at the mound, but you see that Tech has switched out, like you said earlier, CJ Oxendine as catcher, and then Willie Hurt coming in for third base, and then Ethan Gibson coming in as shortstop. You can say that the third base and the shortstop were where most of the errors were today, just of where it was targeted, where the ball was hit. You can see maybe John Sheff, he's maybe throwing in his final punch and trying to salvage this game, but we'll have another pitching change. We'll see here, but just kind of cannot have consistency. We've talked about this all day, just no consistency from the hill, and it's caused a somewhat blowout come near the end of the game.
As quick as his introduction to the Blacksburg Mound tonight is, as quick as it ends. as Lazaro's night is done after one walk of Mason Onyate. Replacing Danny Lazaro is Jake Wise, the freshman right-hander from Glen Allen, Virginia, went to Benedictine Prep School. He was the 55th overall recruit from Virginia by perfect game. And we've seen this sort of situation happen with Doug Wiley and Coach John Sheff against Rutgers when they lost 16-1. Checking different pitchers out. And this is the same scenario for Jake Wise.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that you're going to look back on and really regret. It's not necessarily a heartbreaker, but it's definitely a game that you have a home game against, and kind of roles will reverse. You should be the one leading by 9 and not the other way around. So it's tough for John Sheff and company, but you know, when it comes to ACC play, these kinds of things that they have messed up on, errors, pitching issues, that needs to clean up because this is a highly anticipated year that I've heard from Evan Hughes. This is a good team and a well-rounded team, so they need to put the money where their mouth is and be prepared for ACC play.
Greg Beals gets his first win, it looks like. Anyway, at the top of the 8th, 13-4, Marshall leads. Greg Beals, head coach for the Thundering Herd, looks to get his first win against Virginia Tech. He's in his 4th season. Got another defensive change here. Alongside Jake Wise. Heading to the mound. Jack Smith now in the batter's box. Mason Onyate on first base. Shimmy's a little bit off of the bag, but no steal attempt. 1-1 count. And Virginia Tech looking to most likely just close the chapter on this unfortunate book. 4 straight losses perhaps for the Hokies. 1-2 count. Jack Smith. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He'll head back to the dugout. 1 out. Nicola Curto now in left field. Ethan Gibson, the shortstop. Do a little switcheroo in the outfield. Will Gubba now up to bat as a helicopter comes flying by. 1 ball, no out, no strikes, 1 out on the board for Virginia Tech. Will Gubba went to West Allegheny High School over in the Berg. As another throw down the line is inside for 2 balls, no strikes. Jake Wise throws, swing and a miss, down into the turf, and an attempt for a stolen base. Ethan Ball jumps off of the bag to catch it. But a stolen base attempt was no good, no out, but it was a strikeout for Will Gubba 2 outs on the board, and Mason Oñate still on first as we head back to the top of the lineup. Jake Wise against Evan Batone. Out on batter's interference. But now Oñate tries to steal, and to no avail that goes. That will be an out. And the bottom of the 8th, the top of the 8th will now move to the bottom. 13-4, Marshall leads. And a boulevard of broken dreams in a nearly empty English field as Virginia Tech trails by 9. Don't go anywhere. This is 3304 Sports. Virginia Tech walking alone as Green Day plays. 13-4, Virginia Tech is down against the Marshall Thundering Herd. But up next in the batter's box is Sam Gates. Landon Dahl making his presence known tonight. 6 strikeouts, 3 hits, 1 run allowed in 4 innings. Gates 1 for 3 on the day as a strike goes down the line. 0-1 count. Coming past 7 o'clock now. And another strike down the line. Landon Dahl making his presence known. Has a 2.29 ERA.
If you're Virginia Tech, do you kind of just close the gap here? Maybe make a strong push just where the box score watchers don't think it's as bad as it has been all game?
Is that pitch a little high? 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think if I'm Coach Sheff, let the boys play and move on to ACC play this weekend as Dahl sets and throws. Down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Try to get a slider in there, 74 miles an hour. But with no luck. And Dahl throws. In a backwards K, Sam Gates caught looking. The first out of the bottom of the 8th. Could lead to a quick end for Virginia Tech. Next up in the lineup, Willie Hurt, the freshman infielder from Midlothian. Dahl. And a fastball right up the middle for a strike. 6'1", 185 for Willie Hurt. Went 0 for 1 at bat against Mississippi State. As he swings and hits it right down the line into left field, he'll get a single. Caught by Evan Batone to stop any more damage from being done to that hit. And Willie Hurt will go 1 for 1 on the day.
I think an unsung hero here would be, of course, we talk about all the mistakes, but Landon Dahl has been extremely impressive for Marshall. It's something that should highlight this team going forward, is that man right there.
Absolutely. As Hudson Luderman's shot up into the air, goes to the back of the clubhouse. Landon Dahl again, absolutely. I think he is 100% an unsung hero, and maybe something that Greg Beals, the coach, would want to look deeper into when it comes to Sun Belt play if they want to have a starting pitcher out there. So he looks towards first base. Willie Hurt over there. Throws. And connected, but for a foul just over the baseball center, heading towards Thompson Field.
and we talk about it, this isn't a game versus conference opponents. This is a D1 school that Marshall's going up against, and Landon Dahl is having his way against this team and has completely shut everyone out since.
Hudson Luderman down into left field, caught by Evan Patone. 2 outs. Willie Hurt will stay at first. So we go back to the top of the lineup. Sam Grube. Excuse me, we may have a different batter. And we do. Pinch hitter for Virginia Tech, Amon Chandler. Freshman out of Chestnut Hill, Pennsylvania, 5'11", 210. Trying to make his presence known for Virginia Tech. Especially try to catch the eye of John Sheff, now in his 9th season with Virginia Tech. And up the middle, Landon Dahl, first strike. And for Marshall, got a weekend series at home against St. Bonaventure as Dahl's throw chipped and head to the back of the home plate net is Amon Chandler. They'll have a 2-game stretch midweek against Louisville in Kentucky. And they'll come back home and start their Sun Belt play March 13th against Georgia State. High and away for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. Virginia Tech down 13-5. Willie Hurt at first. Amon Chandler in the batter's box, looking to make something happen as the throw pop up and high in the air. It'll go right towards Jack Smith for the catch. And 3 outs it goes. Marshall looking to close this one as we head to the top of the 9th. Virginia Tech hoping to avoid the upset, but it may be too little too late as we try to conclude this match in Blacksburg. Don't go anywhere. Virginia Tech, Marshall, 13-4. The Thundering Herd lead. It's 33-04 Sports. Top of the 9th here in Blacksburg. We've got a new pitcher up to bat as Evan Batone doesn't swing at a ball just outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Jacob Exum, the new pitcher on the mound. Senior right-hander. As he throws down the line, chipped towards the Marshall dugout. 1 ball, 2 strike. Excuse me. 1 ball, 1 strike. It has been quite the game here in Blacksburg. Virginia Beach native Exum gets a strike. 1-2 count. Went to the Miller School of Albemarle. Was in 18 games last season. He posted a 3.65 ERA through a little over 24 innings pitched. As he winds up, gets set, throws down the line, and a little oomph shimmy from Batone. Doesn't swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Batone 3 for 3 still on the day. Perfect at bat. Exum delivers the throw outside. Full count, 3-2. And Marshall might be the one as Exum throws, and it's jammed right into the turf towards the first base line. Amon Chandler now at first base. Marshall might be coming out of here with the $2 hot dog night victorious. Exum, right foot on the mound and throws. Swing and a miss. And Batone's night no longer perfect as he strikes out. Tyler Kammerer now 1 for 5 on the day. And Jacob Exum winds and throws. Contact with the ball, but made towards the home plate net. And the majority of Blacksburg now heading over to Castle Coliseum. Virginia Tech final home match tonight for men's basketball. Jacob Exum just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hokies on the court getting ready for their trip down to the Queen City this weekend, or I guess next Monday. And a hit right past right field, the first base line, and oh! A lot of tumbling bodies and confusion. Tyler Kammerer will get the single. Amon Chandler tried to stop the ball's momentum, but to no avail. Sam Gates all the way down from his position in right field to get the stop. 13-4 Marshall. They lead. Virginia Tech again on the court playing Boston College tonight. Tip off at 9. Then off to UVA this weekend. Jackson Halter fouls it off right behind the Hokies dugout. And a foul ball will go to a kid for their collection. 0-1 count, 1 out on the board. And down the line for a strike. 2 strikes, no balls. 1 out. Virginia Tech on the road for the next 2 weeks for 2 ACC conference series. As Exum's pitch down the line is inside towards the feet of Halter. 1-2 count. The Yellow Jackets in Atlanta and the Wahoos in Charlottesville. Exum throws. And outside of the park, but the wrong way. Another foul. 1-2. Virginia Tech comes back to English Field on the 17th to play against the VCU Rams. Jammed into the ground is Halter's connection with the ball for another foul. The weekend of March 20th, ACC play in English Field. It's the Duke Blue Devils coming to town. That'll be something to definitely look forward to.
Yeah, great team, and it's going to be after a few matchups in ACC play, so it's going to be a good matchup. Definitely just want to look past this game and move on, and I'm sure John Chef's already preparing for Friday's matchup against Georgia Tech.
Strikeout for Jackson Halter sends him back to the Marshall dugout. 2 outs now, top of the 9th. A.J. Harvilla Now up to plate. And a strike is called. 0-1, 2 outs. Still a handful of Hokies fans in attendance, but down to the single digits, it looks like. 1 ball, 1 strike. Exum threw just a little over an inning, an inning, 0.2, against Mississippi State in Texas over the weekend. Allowed 2 runs and 1 hit. Strike is called on the last pitch from Exum. 1-2 count. Here comes another. Outside. 2-2 count. 2s all across the board. Marshall a whopping 16 hits on the night, compared to Virginia Tech's 9 and 1 error. Exum. And a hit towards left field, right over the head of Ethan Gibson. And another hit is called. It's going to be a single. Tyler Kammerer heads to second. Harvrilla at first. 17 hits on the night. As Cam Harthen enters the matchup. Cam Harthen from Cumberland, Rhode Island, the senior outfielder. Strike is called. 0-1 count. Harthen appeared in 46 games last season for the Thundering Herd. He led the team in batting average with a .325. He's not recorded a hit since Navy. And their loss against the Midshipmen, 1-8. Just a handful of days ago. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 9th. Virginia Tech looking to just pack the bags and head to the locker room. The ball is called. 1-2. Kammerer on second. A.J. Harvrilla on first. No real coverage around the first base bag other than Amon Chandler just a few feet away as hits fouled off towards the left field side. Heading towards Nick Lacurdo. 1-2 count. Definitely not the game to watch if you're watching it on ACC Network Extra, the first broadcast Virginia Tech has had this season. Exum throws and a chip down into a ground ball towards the right field side, just inside. And an out is called as Tyler Kammerer tried to run around the bases towards home and stopped at home plate by C.J. Oxendine. Tried to make an RBI single was Cam Harthen, but to no avail was that. Ethan Ball with the grab. Throw over to Oxendine. And that'll send us to the bottom of the 9th. Virginia Tech down 9 runs, 18 hits for Marshall. Game's almost over, Virginia Tech fans. It's almost there. But more action will continue here on 3304 Sports. Bottom of the 9th, Virginia Tech down 9 runs. And who else on the mound but the star of the show? Going through 5 innings is Landon Dahl against Ethan Gibson. Ethan and Landon Dahl catches the ball. It goes right towards him, and he just underhand throws it to A.J. Harvrilla for the out.
if you've been watching this game, that is not surprising at all that Landon Dahl was able to do that. It just seems like he can do everything now.
Ethan Ball hopefully trying to put the ball over the wall to at least add in garbage time. He's 1 for 4 today. Landon Dahl, 5.1 innings played, 4 hits, 1 run allowed, and 7 strikeouts. He'll definitely earn that W in his win column. So we prepare for the pitch. Winds up and throws down the line. Contact is made high up into the air. And behind the Virginia Tech dugout it goes. Right on top of the dugout, actually. We got a Virginia Tech player going behind. Probably going to go exploring. 0-1 count. Bottom of the ninth, 13-4 is your score. Marshall with the upset. Contact is made again as Landon Dahl throws down the line. This time, nearly the same spot. 2 strikes. And a plane flying past. 1 out on the board. Dahl. Just high and away. 1-2 count. Ethan Ball, the freshman from McLean, Virginia, up in Nova, enjoying his time down at Virginia Tech. That's inside. 2-2 count. Was the number 2 recruit from Virginia and the number 1 shortstop, according to Perfect Game. And 1 strikeout. He went 0 for 2 against Tennessee in their last matchup. And Ethan Ball sends one deep right field. And connected is Jackson Halter with the catch. That had some power into it, but not enough to make it past the Thundering Herd. 13-4 is your score. 2 outs. Nick Licurdo now up to bat. Dahl fires. Strike 1 it is. 0-1. Licurdo 0 for 2 on the day. Dahl. And that one goes inside. 1-1 count. 80 pitches so far for Dahl. Definitely improving his ERA on the night. Outside. 2-1 count. Played 4 seasons over at Jackson High School in Massillon, Ohio. Had a season high 4 innings played. He definitely surpassed that tonight. And a 3-1 count is now on the board as Dahl's throw is a little inside. 6 strikeouts and 4 innings played against Kennesaw State in their 9-10 loss. And you can definitely see that Dahl is getting a little fatigued as he walks Nick Licurdo with 2 outs on the board. 1 out away from closing this matchup and improving to 5-6 on the season. Trayson Hughes in the batter's box. Outside was that pitch from Dahl. 1-0. Hughes 0 for 3. That fastball inside and down the line, right in that sweet spot for Will Gubba. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. Sent Hughes to one knee. And a 1-2. 2 strikes, 2 outs. For Landon Dahl, have yourself a night. Is this the dagger? It is not. 2-2 count.
Have to think that dagger was 5 innings ago.
Definitely not a matchup Virginia Tech wants. And a swing and a miss. Hughes will run, but nothing will come out of it as Gubba throws it over to Harvilla, and that will end a treacherous, to say the least, night for Virginia Tech. Final score here at English Field, 13-4. Marshall gets their first win in series history here in Blacksburg, and their first win against Virginia Tech overall since 2017, as Coach Sheff and Greg Beals, they shake hands. Good games all around, but not a good game for Virginia Tech if you're a Hokies fan.
Yeah, just kind of had that good start, 1 through 3 innings, and then just kind of slowed up once they made that pitching change from, Caudill to Dahl, and, they never looked back. They took advantage of errors that Virginia Tech had on the defensive end, but then also Dahl was completely capturing them, not letting them hit their sweet spots really at all. And then when they were hitting the ball, it would not go the distance or go too far. We saw that one with Ball. He hammered one all the way to right field, and it just slowed up and it got caught for an out. So just great from both sides from Marshall, and then Virginia Tech, they need to find that consistency on the pitching end.
Marshall, with Landon Dahl getting his number 1 win of the season, as he definitely deserves it. Ben Weber will receive the loss for tonight. Marshall improves to 5-6 on the season. Virginia Tech extends their losing streak to 4 games now. They go to 7-5 on the season. For Marshall, they'll have a weekend series in Charleston, West Virginia, against St. Bonaventure. They'll head on the road March 10th and 11th to Louisville, and then they'll start their Sun Belt Conference play against Georgia State on March 13th. As for the Virginia Tech Hokies, they'll head down to Atlanta, Georgia, to face off against the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. And then they'll come back up to Virginia, but not to Blacksburg. They'll head over to Charlottesville against the Wahoos. They'll start their ACC conference play here at Atlantic Union Bank Park against the Duke Blue Devils on March 20th. So if you're Virginia Tech right now and you're about to go into ACC play, what needs to change right off of the top of your dome?
Like I just said, the pitching, it needs to be consistent. It needs to be steady. It's fine going through 3 or 4 pitchers, but if you're not finding consistency and then having a walk and then changing pitchers just after one walk, that doesn't seem like a very bright spot that was perceived at the beginning of the season. They were like, yeah, we got some guys that is going to make our pitching pretty consistent, but now, you're going to have some days where you not hit the ball, and today was that day. You're going to have some times where you're going to find the right, balls to hit and where the ball is placed, and I'm not worried about the balls being hit. I'm not worrying about the hitting. That's something that can be fixed, and it's just not your day. But the pitching is what needs to be fixed, first of all, and then, of course, the errors. You can't have errors whenever. Infield needs to be close to perfect. They can't be bobbling the ball. They can't let it go through hands, because when it gets in that danger zone where there's, a good 20 yards or 10 yards within the infield players and the outfield players, then that's when it gets dangerous, and that's when most of Marshall got their runs, is when that happened.
Absolutely. So that'll conclude tonight's coverage of Marshall versus Virginia Tech. From English Field at Atlantic Union Bank Park, I'm Connor Arthur, alongside with my great colleague, Haden Tolbert, saying so long and have an awesome night. This is 3304 Sports. Carry on.